We'll go upstairs then. We'll have a chat. Let's have a look in here. Hello there.
By the sun! King Avad's edict really is taking effect. Never thought I'd see a Nora here and a woman at that.
Okay.
So, you have marks for me?
Oh,
What do you mean?
From the hunting grounds. Oh, right. You're new here.
Yes. What? Marks?
What do you want with my marks?
You hunters and your badges. I'm not going to take them. I'm going to give you a weapon that sets you apart.
Oh. Yes,
yeah,
please.
I thought that would get your attention. If you earn marks in all 3 trials at each of the 5 hunting grounds, come to me. I can give you up to 3 weapons, 1 for 15 half-suns, 1 for 15 full suns, and 1 you'll love for all blazing suns.
Right. Oh, so I need all of them. Right, okay.
What edict?
King Avad insisted that the Hunter's Lodge had to welcome everyone. Man, woman,
Yeah, I read
outlander,
that.
regardless of tribe. Ursa, captain of the Vanguard, came in and delivered that news personally. You should have been there. It was glorious. But I figured they would sweep it under the rug and say no woman or outlander qualified. Yet here you are.
And are you a member?
Are you a member?
Me? No. Karja don't exactly encourage their daughters to run around hunting machines. But all the changes in Meridian have been good to me. I don't think the Oseram know how to sell to us Karja. The trader I worked for last couldn't sell flowers to a bee. He was too plain hammered, as they like to say. This is a much better job. I figure I'll be able to open my own shop soon enough.
Okay.
What do I do with these marks?
If you get the same mark from all the hunting ground trials, I can give you a Hunter's Lodge weapon. Show me what marks you've earned, and we'll see if you qualify for one of these special weapons I have for you.
I'm a little short on marks.
Yeah.
No problem. Once you have marks from all 15 trials, you'll be able to get the next Hunter's Lodge weapon from me.
Okay, okay. Hold on a second. So, right. Gather all hunting ground, share by completing all 3 trials, 3, earn half suns, full suns, and blazing suns. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I get blazing suns, I automatically get the half suns and the full suns as well, because I have only done 3 trials so far, and I've gotten blazing suns for each trial. But it seems that I have half suns and full suns as well. So, okay, cool. Cool. Okay, now, we're supposed to go upstairs, right? Let's have a look here. What is this?
I work hard every day.
A scroll apartment that includes the machine ink. Hold on a second. The Record of Redmaw by inquiring Jadineman, historian in residence at the Hunter's Lodge. It is well known that facts recede into fictions as they become memories, and fresh facts themselves are ephemeral among the rumors and legends of the South. This is especially true in the case of Redmaw, that most terrible of Thunderjaws, a machine which is nothing if not legendary. Few who have laid eyes upon it have survived, and among them, even fewer can be trusted not to embellish their tales. I think we were passing by someone earlier in one of the villages, and they were talking about Redmaw. I think so. All that said, here I have endeavored to truthfully chronicle all the calamities attributed to the beast and all the expeditions meant to end such calamities once and for all. None have succeeded. As of this writing, the terror of the South still roams free, scarred perhaps, but deadly as the day the sun first shone upon its armored hide. In the early spring of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, a freehold was destroyed near the hands of the flood. 9 bodies were recovered, 8 riddled with cannon rounds, 1 flattened completely. No witnesses survived. Though never proven, this is widely thought to be Redmaw's first attack. In the late spring of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, an expedition of 4 hunters set out from Sunstone Rock to track the machine or machines responsible for the destruction of the freehold. None returned. Their bodies were subsequently found in the south. 3 blasted, 1 stomped. Never proven, but thought to be Redmaw's work. In the early summer of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, an expedition of 6 mercenaries set out from Meridian to track the machine or machines responsible for the losses described above. One returned, ribs crushed, clavicle fractured. He spoke of a thunder jaw which split a man in half with a single bite. This is the first confirmed sighting of the legendary machine and the one which gave it a name. In the late summer of the 18th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, an expedition of 8 set out from Meridian to track Redmaw. None returned. 6 bodies were found near Blackwing Snag. 1 blasted, 3 stomped, 2 eviscerated, 1 swallowed his own tongue, evidently in a spasm of terror, suffocating. Jeepers. In the autumn of the 18th year of his reign of the Sun King Jiran, the Sun King commanded the Hunter's Lodge to send an expedition south in pursuit of Redmaw. After numerous logistical delays, 3 hawks and their thrashers set out in winter. Only 1 pair returned, reporting the deaths of the others, 2 blasted, 1 stomped, 1 decapitated. The survivors were sacrificed for cowardice, 1 gutted by a sawtooth, the other skewered by kestrels. After this setback, members of the lodge grew weary of pursuing the legendary Thunderjaw. Only the proudest hawks even considered it. Aspirants to the lodge, however, foolish in their ambition, eagerly took part in subsequent hunts. In the summer of the 19th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, the destruction of a caravan south of Spurflints, 3 blasted, 2 stomped, 1 immolated, reigned interest in Redmaw. 3 expeditions totaling 15 mercenaries went after the machine, with only 3 survivors, 9 blasted, 3 stomped, 2 eviscerated, 1 liquefied. What? Wow. In the early spring of the 20th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, a cohort of 12 soldiers headed from the Rain Gatherers to the Alight were set upon by the beast. Only 1 survived, 1 blasted, 1 stomped, 10 crushed when their fleeing footsteps triggered an avalanche. In the late spring of the 20th year, 3 cohorts totaling 34 men went in search of Redmaw. Alas, they were ambushed by stalkers and only 4 survived. 24 sniped, 6 exploded. Understandably, this ended pursuit of Redmaw for some time. In the summer of the 1st year of the reign of Sun King Avad, a group of 6 Oseram traders were attacked by the beast. 1 blasted, 3 stomped, 1 split into a ravine. The lone survivor petitioned Captain Ersa to send the vanguard after the monster, but the request was denied. However, 3 additional expeditions, comprised of mercenaries and hunters aspiring to the lodge, were subsequently commissioned. Autumn, 7 men, 2 blasted, 3 stomped, 1 tripped on his own spear, 1 survivor. Winter, 9 men, 3 blasted, 2 stomped, 2 died from frostbite, 2 survivors. And spring, 11 men, 5 blasted, 1 stomped, 3 retreated off a cliff, 2 survivors. The last known sighting of Redmaw occurred in the spring of the 3rd year of the reign of the Sun King Avad. Tarkas, Hawk of the Lodge, got word of a sighting near Thunderhead and set off to take the beast on his own. His thrush, Talana, arrived at the scene too late, just as Tarkas was dying of his wounds, multiple perforations. Talana testified that as Redmaw lumbered off through the trees, she could see the spear of her mentor embedded in its hide. Wowzers. That sounds like a fun fight that is going to come to us. Who's this guy? Assis. This guy. Yeah, I need to talk to you. Hello there.
Excuse us. The machine rider graces us with her presence. You're Anora, are you not? A fighter from the savage lands.
The sacred land, but yes. I fought for everything I got.
Sacred savage, you know.
Tell me, do the Nora often wander into other people's homes and do whatever they like?
Of course not.
But that is what you're doing.
What?
Right now. Stinking up our lodge.
Wow, this guy.
Pestering your betters.
This guy.
You're hardly my better. Legan said I had to meet you to become a member.
That would be true if there were any chance of you becoming a member. But you're a savage. And no savage will rise in the ranks of the Hunter's Lodge while I am the Sun Hawk.
I see.
Now be gone.
No. I was led to believe there are rules here. If they count for nothing, then even your position is meaningless. So quit blustering and tell me. Is there a hawk who is free to sponsor me?
Very well. Talana is free. Wouldn't that be fitting? Trash sponsoring trash. Now get out of my sight.
So we need to kill this guy, right? That's what we need to do. Balan, the captain, Data needs assistance searching the valley for a missing cargo patrol. No. What? Hunting lodge. This guy. A hunter's lodge. Hawk must sponsor a new thrush. Talk to Talana. Okay, we'll talk to Talana then.
Better here than on the battlefield.
This dude. Hold on a second. There's more. This guy has a weird position.
We are paying for some.
Never mind. Never mind. You know what? Never mind. Let's see what this is. A book of parchment. Okay. Hold on a second. Legendary hunts of the lodge. In the summer of the 4th year of the reign of Sun King Marzid, did Farukawas, son hawk of the lodge, behold a herd of grazers so vast that it filled entirely, I guess, the vale below the far back. His bow was a harp that day, strumming the melody of the hunt from noon to twilight. After one could not walk a single step across the glen without tripping on an antler of the fallen. It took all 7 hawks and all 7 thrushes to gather the trophies, and with the bounty from their barter, the last wing of the lodge was raised. In the winter of the 7th year of the reign of the Sun King Hivas, did Darusiv, hawk of the lodge, stalk a herd of tramplers from Sand Whisper Valley to the foothills of the Pale Reach. Bombs from his sling fell as hailstones, freezing his prey and the waters of the ford. While the others stood as statues in ice, Hiva set upon the largest, driving his spear between its plates and taking his trophy before the rest could even stir. In the spring of the 3rd year of the reign of Sun King Jiran, as the machines of the wilds grew ever more deranged, did Kuvam, hawk of the lodge, answer the call from the prefect at Daytower to slay the mysterious creature who ripped his best cohort limb from limb. 4 days and 4 nights he tracked his quarry through the savage east before the brute was revealed, strong as a snapjaw, fast as a strider. From twilight to midnight the battle raged, but Kuvam prevailed at great cost, his left arm chewed ragged at the joint. Thus he named the beast Sawtooth, as he took his trophy from its shattered remains. In the autumn of the 8th year of the reign of the Sun King Jiran, as the machines of the wilds grew ever more deranged, did Galidid, hawk of the lodge, follow the shimmering death, hunting the southern freeholds into the jungles of the Jewel. Under that tangled canopy, the hunter became the hunted, glimpsing in the shadows more of the eerie lights, till he was surrounded by machines he named stalkers. Long was his flight through the undergrowth to the safety of the alight, but along the way he turned his bow to his pursuers and became the first to snare a trophy from that which walks in glinting shadow. Alright. In the summer of the 13th year of the reign of Sun King Jiran, as the machines of the wilds grew ever more deranged, did Assis, hawk of the lodge, dare to thread the path of broken trees, following the wake of the terrible thing that laid waste to the freehold of morning light. And so he was first to face the might of the Thunderjaw, greatest of machines that walk the earth. With spear, bomb, and arrow, brave Assis fought to no avail, and only triumphed by turning the Terror's own cannons against it. The carcass of the beast now hangs in the lodge for all to see, so enshrined because its fall turned hawk to sunhawk. Alright. Okay. Assis, eh? What's his name? What's this guy's name again? This guy? This guy managed to slay a Thunderjaw, really? Okay. I guess. I guess he's a good hunter. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to find out. So hold on a second. This is the carcass that they're talking about. This thing right here. They brought it here. And they're keeping it here. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Wish the Oseram would invent a gadget to do this.
Hello?
Typical savage. Barging in here without a thought. Right after one of our own was killed. Go away.
There was blood on the throne because of Jiran.
What have we here? A Nora Fledge.
I bet I've been hunting longer than you have. Are you a fledgling?
Not for long. I have a hawk who's about to sponsor me, so you're out of luck.
Nope. Sorry.
What have we?
I bet I've been
Not you.
hunting.
Not for
you.
long.
Not you. I didn't mean to talk to you.
Yes, you're very...
I'd asked Talana to sponsor me, but her sponsor just died. I can't imagine what she must be going through.
Right.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Can't believe Redmaw defeated Tarkus. He was such a good hunter, but Redmaw is a beast of a Thunderjaw. I'd never face it.
Okay, I'm guessing we're gonna face it. We're gonna kill it.
I'm a member. Go bother the other sludges and leave me alone.
We're gonna make a name for ourselves.
But it's not our business.
May the sun light your way.
Enough to be worried.
Right. Why are these guys drunk in here? A lot of them seem to be really drunk. What am I missing here? Oh, there she is. Hello.
Here, Talana? Assis said you were a hawk without a fledgling to sponsor. Or are you trying to drive me off too? It's okay, I've dealt with worse.
I'll bet you have. But you're wrong. It's not okay. Especially not today.
Okay, let's have a chat here.
What happened today?
One of our own just died fighting Redmaw. You'll never face a more dangerous Thunderjaw. Cuts through trees, rocks, people.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's part of the hunt.
Assis, what's his story?
He's the Sunhawk of the Lodge. The highest ranking asshole... Sorry, member. He's taken down Ravagers, Stalkers, Behemoths.
So, I've taken down a lot of machines.
As have I. Even brought down 2 Stormbirds.
Stormbirds.
But he's a hawk who brought in the trophies first. And that's how it works.
Ah, yes.
Whichever hawk defeats the greatest machine first becomes the Sunhawk.
Right. So basically, because he had a trophy for the... okay, got it. For the Thunderjaw. That's how he... Okay.
Is there any actual hunting in this lodge? So far, it's been all talk.
Ooh, the sass.
Yes, of course. You fight a machine, then bring its trophy to Assis the Sunhawk, then no one can deny you brought it down.
Okay.
How does one become a hawk?
When a hawk dies, his thrush is promoted in his place, no matter how anyone feels about it.
Who is this Legan, the man at the door?
Legan? He's a hawk. He had an impressive run in his day, but he doesn't fight anymore. He supports the lodge in other ways. Unlike the other hawks, who hoard all the best kills and drink the bar dry.
Right. Okay. Well, Legan looks a little bit like someone else we've met that enjoys killing.
I'm ready to
Know what I'm
hunt,
saying?
so tell me, what do I have to do?
You want them to regret looking down on you? Then speak to them in their language. Kill 3 Sawtooths, 2 Ravagers, and a Stalker. Deliver their trophies directly to Assis. That should shut them all up.
Really?
So if I do that, you'll sponsor me.
I'll consider it. Just to make Assis spoil.
Okay, so now we have 3 Sawtooths, 2 Ravagers, and 1 Stalker. The Stalker might be a situation, but Ravagers and Sawtooths, they're everywhere. Okay, what else do we have here? We have 2 more quests. Let's go. Let's get them. Actually, hold on 1 second. Is there anything up here? Karja Artisan.
Why, hello there.
Yeah, okay. You?
I like Meridian fine, but I prefer the country. Or at least
least I did before the machines got so bad.
Okay. Okay, you know what? Let's just go talk to the other people.
That must be the spire. It's huge.
That's the spire. Okay, what's the spire? I don't know what the spire is. Hello, there's something over there. Hold on a second. What's going on here?
The people of Sunfall are starving. Why doesn't King Avad attack now and finish them?
7 Articles of the Sun Faith. 1. Over all the world rises and sets the great sun, as is plainly seen. To all plants, animals, machines, and men, it gives life, as is plainly seen. Of all the tribes, none have scaled such heights as the Karja, as guided by the sun. Witnessing these things to be true each day, celebrating these things each day, we believe in the sun and its light gladly and without question. 2. Only the sun's rightful heir, born of the radiant line that dates back to Ahriman, the founder, is the speaker for the sun. To him the sun's desires are revealed, and from his lips its desires are acted upon by men. He shall be known as the Sun King, and his word shall be law. In all things we accept the sun's judgment. We offer our barred skin to it, so it might burn our sins away. We partake of its renewal. We wear its heart for a time. As our skin bears its flesh, its bronzed armor, we are made strong. In the cracking and peeling away of our old selves, we are made new. In the sun's light, we shall speak only the truth, we shall strike only the righteousness, and we shall act as we believe the sun so tasks us. When the shadow falls across us, we shall always remember our illumination. We shall not cast blame or ill fortune, we shall endure. In the coldness of the moon, we accept there will be stillness and death and endings until dawn comes once more. We do this because there are 2 halves of nature, sun and shadow, and to deny one is to deny the whole of things. As a twilight time came before us, ending the world of the ancients, so shall a twilight time come again, for this is the cycle of things. The buried shadow shall rise up to eclipse the sun's light and usher in great and terrible change. Even knowing this, we are steadfast in our belief and trust that the sun will again bring a new dawn, as it did for our founders so long ago. Holy Meridian shall forever be the seat of the Karja and the city of the sun, and the spire venerated as the mark of its founding. A Sun King born of the radiant line shall always sit upon its throne, for without a speaker for the sun, its will is clouded. For either of these to be denied is to invite a twilight time upon us. Clearly the Karja are the children of the sun and preeminent in its gaze, but so too does its light touch upon the barbarian tribes of the north, east, and south. It is the speaker for the sun's duty to interpret if the sun's gaze is directed in approval or reproach. So determined, it is the duty of the Karja to carry out the sun's will, even in places where the light does not reach. Wowzers, okay. Interesting. This is like a place of worship, it looks like. Uh-oh.
You're Nora. I'm the mournful Naman. My apologies that we meet like this.
Like this?
In grief. You hold yours close, like a talisman. Wait, forgive me. You didn't come for reparations? Someone you lost to the Sun Ring?
No.
No. I know about the Red Raids, but the Karja owe me nothing.
I see. Well, I could use the help of a strong-willed outlander. Then I would owe you very much indeed.
Okay.
These people seek to honor their loved, their lost, with their own voices, not mouthing Karja rituals to Karja stone. But there are obstacles. And while Meridian holds its breath for any disturbance, these robes only tie my hands.
Okay.
What kind of obstacles?
The first pilgrim is an Oseram who seeks to visit the Shrine of Kings on the road to the city. He waits there now, forbidden to enter by an old sun priest who suffer no heathen. This Utaro lost her companion on the edge of the jewel, at a pool where snap moths gather.
Uh-oh.
The shrine was built there to ward off the machines, yet its effectiveness leaves much to be desired. And the Manuk would paint a mark on the sun's climb, a call to the machine spirits, I understand.
Man, the lip syncing on this guy.
They need no beckoning. Glint hawks perch there, drawn to the spire's shining.
So clear the machines out of 2 shrines and move a priest out of the other.
All I can ask for is your charity and that their stories are heard.
Okay.
Naman, rituals and prayers can't bring back those who are lost.
No, but it can help those who grieve to find themselves. It can lend them strength and hope, like a new sunrise.
Why ask an outlander for help?
I didn't think your priesthood would ask outsiders for help.
If only the sun would set on our pride. Until this is done, I am no sun priest. To wear a red robe was an aspiration. I aspired. Now our hoods make us blind. We whisper reconciliation, but forget how the old king's priests sang the words and blessed the killing.
The killing? You mean the Red Raids?
Yes. And the sacrifices that came after.
Why did the priests go along with all that bloodshed?
Good question.
Sometimes we Karja are more concerned with what is tradition than what is right.
Huh.
Right.
Maybe the Karja and Nora aren't so different. You're disappointed with the Sun Priests, but you still wanted to be one?
I spent my whole life looking up to the temple. My brother's voice echoing in its arches. Even he couldn't turn me away, and how he tried. In the end. He said, when we were loved, our robes were dyed in cinnabar. Now they are stained in blood.
How so?
Our robes are handed down to us. Most of the old priests fled rather than be seen in the glare of a new sun. And so we are left to wear their sins. For me, at least, they hang heavy.
Wow, interesting. Okay, can you tell me more about your brother?
Where is your brother now?
He waits for me on the trail of the sun, I hope. He spoke out against the sacrifices. For a priest to question the Sun King's will,
he's dead.
His punishment was worst of all.
You lost someone you loved too. I'm sorry.
No, not lost. When I took on these robes, I found his memory.
Okay.
I'll do what I can to help those in mourning.
To honor their memories is to honor us all.
Honor the fallen. So, Sun Climb, Lake Shrine, and Shrine of Kings. Sun Priest Naman wants to usher in a new era of reconciliation between tribes by helping the 3 pilgrims. Each wishes to mourn loved ones lost during the Red Raids, but obstacles stand in the way. Okay. Alright, can I have a look at where these... Okay, 1, 2, and 3, right there. Interesting. Okay. Good to know. Alright, it seems we only have one more place to go, and then we should be good. So let me see, how do we get there? Yeah, let's go down here. Let's get this as well. Nope, the other way. Why did I... Hold on a second, like so. Okay.
Another day begins.
Why am I... Jesus. I was going the right way. I don't know why. Okay. I just want to get this, and then I'll explore the city a little bit more.
You there! Can you help me? Can you spare a moment? Someone robbed my house.
Uh-oh.
You're the one the Vanguard has been crowing about. The Nora who tracks criminals and traitors with her second sight.
What?
If only you'd use it to help me. A thief raided my home and took my brother's sword.
Okay.
Tell me about the robbery. Don't leave anything out.
It was brazen and professional. They took only the sword, my most valuable possession. The thief went out through the window and scared the shadow off my steward. Otherwise, it would have been a clean getaway.
Okay.
Tell me about the robbery. Don't leave anything out.
It was brazen. The thief went...
Why would someone steal the sword?
It's priceless. Made from the burnished antler of a lancehorn, finely inlaid with studded stones all down the...
Okay, I get it.
It's priceless, yeah.
Forgive me. That's not even why it's important. The 12th Sun King gave it to my brother for his military service. He was killed in battle during the liberation.
So it's a family thing.
I was saving it for my nephew who's stranded at Sunfall with the Karja in Shadow.
Okay. Nephew?
How did your nephew wind up in Sunfall?
Most of the old clergy backed the Mad Sun King, so when he fell, they ran out of fear of retribution. As an honor guard to a venerable priest, my nephew had no choice but to go with them. Now that my brother is gone, my nephew is my heir, so that sword really belongs to him. And after all he's been through, I won't be able to look him in the face if I don't get it back.
Okay, well, I guess I'll help you investigate.
I'll see what I can do about the robbery.
Have a word with my steward if you need to. He saw the thief escape. And listen, all I want is the sword back. Meridian, and my family for that matter, has seen enough strife already.
Okay.
If I can get it back, all is forgiven. No retribution necessary.
Okay. I'll see what I can do then. Alright. Robbing the rich. It sounds like a very Robin Hood type of quest. Okay, well, we've gotten a lot of things from Meridian. We have a lot of things to do outside the city, which is great. We got quite a few areas to visit, which is awesome. So yeah, I guess that's what we're gonna do. But I'm going to end this episode here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're having a great. Hope you had a great week. Hope you're having a great weekend. I'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye.